Chapter 60, The Weight of Being Chosen, Part 4. The moment Alex stepped out of his chamber, he looked around the corridor. Kaylin was nowhere to be seen. For a brief moment, he simply stood there in confusion. She had clearly said she would wait. Then a thought crossed his mind. The training ground. Without wasting another second, Alex began making his way through the palace. His legs still carried a faint ache from the previous day, but compared to yesterday, his movements had already improved considerably. By the time he reached the training grounds, the sky was only beginning to brighten. The first light of morning stretched across Greyfard Palace. And in the middle of the enormous training field, Kaylin was already waiting. She stood alone, calmly stretching her arms and shoulders as though she had been there for quite some time. Alex approached her and immediately performed the respectful greeting Seraphine had taught him. "Senior Sister Kaylin." Kaylin stopped stretching and looked toward him. Alex straightened. "I'm ready. Where do we begin?" Kaylin answered without hesitation. "Activate Blood Hunt." Alex blinked. That was all. Before he could ask another question, Kaylin continued. "Catch me." Then she disappeared. Alex's eyes widened. A heartbeat later, he immediately activated Blood Hunt. His senses changed. The world around him became sharper. The faint movement of magicules. The warmth carried within living blood. The traces left behind by a moving body. Everything entered his perception. Alex turned sharply. There! He immediately ran. Far ahead, Kaylin moved across the training ground at astonishing speed. Alex pushed his legs harder. At first, he believed the task was simple. Catch Kaylin. Touch her. Training complete. But after only a few seconds, he understood how ridiculous that thought had been. Alex had used Blood Hunt many times. He had used it to track enemies, to locate people, to identify danger, and sometimes simply to make his daily life easier. But Kaylin, she was someone who had spent years understanding the same ability. Alex used Blood Hunt. Kaylin had mastered living through it. Still, Alex refused to fall behind. His newly awakened constitution responded to his determination. Magicules flowed through his veins. His legs pushed against the ground with greater force. Slowly, the distance began shrinking. 10 steps. 5. 3. Alex reached forward. His fingers were only inches away from Kaylin's back. Then Kaylin turned her head. For the first time, a faint hint of surprise entered her eyes. "You heal quickly." Alex continued running. Kaylin calmly observed him. "Good. You're keeping up." Alex's fingers moved closer. Then Kaylin smiled faintly. "But until you touch me, this training doesn't move forward." Her speed suddenly increased. The distance between them widened instantly. Alex clenched his jaw. So that was the rule. There would be no explanation, no lesson, no second stage. Until he caught Kaylin, they would do nothing except chase. Fine. Alex pushed himself harder. Once again, the distance began shrinking. His breathing became heavier, but he ignored it. His legs screamed in pain. He ignored that too. Closer. Closer. Once again, Alex reached Kaylin. This time, his fingers were almost touching her shoulder. Kaylin glanced behind her, and then she saw it. A small smile on Alex's face. Confident. Almost certain. As though he had already understood the training. Kaylin's eyes changed slightly, because that smile reminded her of a conversation from the previous night. After leaving Alex and returning to Orlan's chamber, Kaylin had stood silently before her master. Orlan had asked only one question. "Are you happy?" Kaylin had nodded. "Very. Seraphine is my favorite senior sister. And senior sister Naira possesses the same unique skill as me." Training their student. Kaylin's expression had softened slightly. "It feels as though I can finally repay them for everything they taught me." Orlan smiled. Then she spoke. "Alex learns quickly. Far more quickly than most. If you show him something once, he will remember it. If you force him to experience something, he will adapt. If you give him enough time, he will find his own method." Kaylin listened carefully. Orlan knew exactly why Alex possessed such frightening adaptability. She knew the blood flowing through his veins. She knew the lineage sleeping inside him. But she chose not to explain that part. Kaylin tilted her head. "Then why did senior sister Seraphine warn me?" Orlan raised an eyebrow. "What did she say?" "She said Alex can be arrogant." Kaylin paused, and sometimes far too confident in his own abilities. Orlan became silent. Then she slowly turned toward Kaylin. "Break it." Kaylin's eyes narrowed slightly. Orlan continued. "Break that pride. Break that arrogance. Make him understand the difference between talent and mastery. Only after that do you begin teaching him. Kalen remained silent. Orlan looked toward the darkened window. When his training is complete, I don't want another talented child. I don't want another warrior who believes power alone is enough. Her voice became quieter. I want you to help train someone capable of becoming hope. Someone capable of standing at the front. Someone capable of becoming an alpha. In a world that desperately needs one. The memory disappeared. Kalen looked toward Alex again. That confident smile was still on his face. Then, something changed. A tiny red point appeared within Kalen's eyes. Alex saw it. His smile disappeared. Kalen vanished. Not moved. Not accelerated. Vanished. Alex's eyes widened. Bloodhunt searched for her. Nothing. Her aura was gone. Her blood presence was gone. Even the magicules surrounding her had disappeared from his perception. It was as though Kalen had never existed. What? Alex continued running. His eyes moved rapidly across the training ground. Left. Right. Behind. Nothing. He couldn't find her. He couldn't sense her. For the first time since activating Bloodhunt, Alex felt completely blind. Then, heat. That was all he felt. A sudden warmth beside his face. Before his mind could understand what it meant, a hand grabbed his head. Kalen appeared beside him. Alex didn't even have time to react. His body was driven directly into the trunk of a massive tree. The impact shook his entire skull. Before pain could even reach his mind, a powerful kick struck his back. Alex was thrown into the air. His body rose several meters above the ground. Then another impact struck his stomach. Kalen had already appeared above him. Alex crashed back into the earth. Dust exploded across the training ground. For several seconds, he couldn't breathe. Then Kalen's voice entered his ears. I either see you chasing me, or I begin hunting you. A brief silence followed. Your choice, Alex. Alex's eyes widened. He understood. Chasing Kalen was nearly impossible. But stopping was worse. He pushed himself from the ground. He didn't even wait for the pain to settle. Bloodhunt activated again, and Alex ran. The hunt continued. Or perhaps, the word hunt was wrong. Alex was prey. Kalen was simply allowing him to believe he was chasing her. Again and again, Alex searched for her blood presence. Again and again, Kalen disappeared. A strike against his ribs. A kick against his back. His shoulder crashing through a tree. His body rolling across the earth. Every time Alex slowed down, Kalen appeared. Every time he hesitated, she attacked. Every time he lost focus, she reminded him. Chase me. So Alex chased. 1 hour passed. By then, Alex had completely lost count of how many times he had been thrown across the training ground. His breathing had become rough. His vision occasionally blurred. Bloodhunt continued consuming magicules at an unbelievable rate. Then came another blow. Alex's body flew backward. He crashed through one tree. Then another. Then another. Dozens of branches shattered as he finally fell among the broken trunks. Alex remained there. His chest rose and fell violently. He tried activating Bloodhunt again. Nothing. His magicules were nearly exhausted. Lunareth. No answer. Lunareth. Finally, an irritated voice echoed inside his mind. What? Help me. No. Alex nearly coughed. What do you mean, no? You are draining magicules faster than I can observe your Bloodhunt. Alex frowned. You told me my magicule capacity increased. It did. You said it was far beyond an ordinary human. It is. Then why am I empty? Lunareth sighed. Alex, imagine magicule capacity as a bag. Alex remained silent. For someone at your current stage, an ordinary person's bag might be 20 by 20. Yours might be 200 by 200. Alex's eyes narrowed. Exactly. So why dash? Because it's still a bag. Lunareth interrupted him. A larger bag doesn't mean infinite magicules. You're continuously using Bloodhunt at an intensity your body has never maintained before. You're forcing magicules through your veins. You're healing. You're running. You're strengthening your body. And every time that woman turns you into a flying object. Alex's face twitched. Lunareth continued calmly. You consume even more magicules recovering. Alex remained silent. Until you reach the next stage, your capacity won't naturally expand again. So yes, you are far from ordinary. But against someone of Kalen's rank. Lunareth paused. You're still ordinary. Those words struck harder than Kalen's attacks. Alex slowly closed his eyes. For so long, He had known he was different. His constitution, Lunareth, blood hunt, the claw of destruction, his growing magical capacity. Everything had quietly created one belief inside him. He was special, and perhaps, without realizing it, he had started believing special meant powerful. Alex opened his eyes. Kaylin was nowhere to be seen. He forced himself upright, then shouted, "Senior sister, stop!" The moment the final word left his mouth, Kaylin appeared, directly in front of him. Her fist had already stopped less than an inch from his nose. Alex stared at it, then slowly looked toward Kaylin. If he had spoken even a heartbeat later, his nose would probably have been broken. Kaylin lowered her hand. "Pick yourself up." Alex tried. His arms trembled. Kaylin simply watched. "Don't expect me to help you." Alex froze. Kaylin's voice remained emotionless. "You performed terribly. So terribly that I'm embarrassed to continue watching." Alex's entire body became still. Kaylin turned away. Those words hurt more than anything she had done during training. The woman who had supported him when he couldn't walk. The woman who had helped him reach Lysara's chamber. The senior sister who had accepted his greeting. Now couldn't even bear to watch him train. Alex lowered his eyes. For the first time that morning, he felt truly small. Then another presence appeared. A woman wearing a flowing green dress calmly walked into the destroyed training ground. She looked around. Broken trees covered the earth. Damaged roots stretched through the soil. Her expression didn't change. "Sister Kaylin." Kaylin turned. The woman continued, "Don't be too hard on him. It is his first day." Her voice was gentle, yet strangely, her face carried almost no emotion. She approached Alex and placed one hand near his shoulder. Green energy flowed into his body. His injuries slowly began healing. But the woman's attention wasn't completely on him. Her head had turned toward the destroyed forest. Alex followed her gaze. Then his eyes widened. The broken trees began moving. Roots pushed through the earth. Shattered trunks slowly returned to their positions. Broken branches reconnected. Green energy flowed through every damaged tree. Within moments, the destruction caused by Alex and Kaylin began disappearing. The woman spoke calmly. "And please, Sister Kaylin, stop breaking my trees. I don't like it." Kaylin lowered her head slightly. "Sister Irina, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't cause too much trouble." Alex's eyes widened slightly. "Irina, so this was the Rainbow member training Iris Snow and Alolan Thorn." Alex forced himself upright. Despite the pain, he performed the respectful greeting. "Senior sister Irina." Irina looked toward him. She gave a small nod, then turned and quietly walked away. Alex watched her leave. When he finally turned back, Kaylin was gone. Alex searched the training ground. Nothing. She hadn't said goodbye. She hadn't given him instructions. She hadn't even told him when tomorrow's training would begin. She had simply left. Alex's chest tightened. She really was disappointed. He looked toward his hands. Was he really that bad? The answer inside his mind came quickly. Yes. With his thoughts in complete turmoil, Alex slowly left the training ground. The rest of the day passed quietly. By evening, Alex stood outside Orlan's chamber. After receiving permission, he entered. Orlan was seated cross-legged in the center of the room. Her eyes remained closed. Without opening them, she spoke. "Sit." Alex obeyed. He sat across from her. "Breathe." Alex frowned slightly. That was all. Still, he closed his eyes. He inhaled, then exhaled. Again and again. For several minutes, nothing happened. Alex didn't understand what Orlan wanted him to do. Then her voice entered his ears. "Go deeper." Alex remained still. "Enter your inner world. Don't search around you. Search within yourself." Alex concentrated. Orlan continued. "Find your veins. Follow them. Go deeper. Then deeper again. Keep descending until you find something." Alex's eyebrows tightened. "What am I searching for?" Orlan smiled faintly. "Something that feels like yours." Alex didn't understand, but he trusted her. His consciousness slowly turned inward. He felt his breathing, his heartbeat, the magicules circulating through his body. Then, he followed them. Deeper, further, searching. At that moment, space shifted inside the chamber. Kaylin appeared. Alex didn't open his eyes, but his concentration immediately weakened. Orlan noticed. She said nothing. Instead, she looked toward Kaylin. How did he perform? Alex heard the question. His focus broke further. Kaylin released a long sigh. "Master, I'm disappointed." Alex's fingers twitched. Kaylin continued. When you asked me to train him, I was happy. I thought I would finally have the opportunity to train Senior Sister Seraphine and Senior Sister Naira's student. Her voice remained calm. I believed I could repay my senior sisters, even if only a little. Alex's hands slowly tightened. But now, Kalen paused. I feel ashamed for them. Alex's eyes remained closed. His fists clenched. Kalen continued. I think my senior sisters chose the worst student they possibly could. Alex's heart pounded. His breathing changed. Orlin saw everything. Still, she remained silent. Kalen continued. When I learned he possessed Blood Hunt, I was surprised. I expected someone who had used a unique skill regularly to understand at least the basics. But during training, he didn't even use 1% of Blood Hunt's potential. I genuinely don't understand what Senior Sister Seraphine and Senior Sister Naira have been teaching him. Alex's nails pressed into his palms. Kalen's words continued, entering his ears. Master, I once trained against Senior Sister Naira. I pushed Blood Hunt to its absolute limit. I used everything I had. And even then, I never saw her. Not once. I couldn't even glimpse her shadow. Kalen's voice became quieter. But you told me Senior Sister Naira was proud of Alex. Proud of a student who can't even identify where an attack is coming from. Something inside Alex burned. Not anger toward Kalen. Shame. Deep, crushing shame. If Kalen had insulted only him, perhaps he could have endured it. But Seraphine, Naira, his masters had trusted him. They had trained him. They had protected him. And now their own junior sister stood before Orlin, questioning what they had taught him. Because of his performance, Alex's blood boiled. Yet he couldn't speak. What could he say? Kalen was right. He hadn't caught her. He hadn't touched her. He hadn't even seen her attacks. Orlin finally spoke. That's enough. Kalen immediately bowed. Yes, master. Space shifted. Kalen disappeared. Silence returned. Alex remained seated. His eyes were still closed. But whatever concentration he once possessed had completely disappeared. Orlin waited. 1 minute. Then another. Finally, she called his name. Alex. Alex slowly opened his eyes. He looked toward Orlin, and his heart sank further. Her expression appeared disappointed. Orlin quietly observed him. Then she sighed. Go rest. Alex froze. Master, your mind is refusing to cooperate. Orlin closed her eyes. We'll try again tomorrow. Alex stared at her. Even Orlin didn't want to continue training him. He lowered his head. Yes, master. Alex stood. He performed the respectful greeting, then quietly left the chamber. The door closed. Silence returned. Several seconds passed. Then, Orlin slowly opened one eye. She looked toward the closed door. The disappointment on her face vanished. A smile appeared. A small, satisfied smile. Good. Alex returned to his chamber. The moment he entered, he collapsed onto his bed. He stared at the ceiling. His body was exhausted. His magicules were depleted. His muscles still carried the memory of Kalen's attacks. But none of that mattered. Only Kalen's words remained inside his mind. I feel ashamed for my senior sisters. The worst student they could have chosen. I don't understand what they have been teaching him. Alex closed his eyes. The words became louder. Again and again. He turned to one side, then the other. Sleep refused to come. For the first time in a very long time. Alex didn't feel special. He felt useless. Late that night, the chamber door quietly opened. Alyra entered. A gentle smile had been on her face. But the moment she saw Alex, it disappeared. She immediately approached him. Alex. He didn't answer. Alyra sat beside him. What happened? Alex slowly moved. Then, without saying anything, he lowered his head onto Alyra's lap. Alyra froze. Her eyes widened. For several seconds, she didn't know how to react. Then her expression softened. She gently placed one hand on Alex's head. Her fingers slowly moved through his hair. Tell me. Alex remained silent for a moment. Then, he told her everything. The chase. Blood hunt. Kalen disappearing. Every attack. His magicules running dry. Kalen's disappointment. Irina. The evening training. And finally, the conversation between Orlin and Kalen. Alex didn't hide anything. Alyra listened quietly. By the time he finished, confusion had appeared on her face. That doesn't make sense. Alex opened his eyes. Alyra continued. The 7 rainbow women are strange, yes. But they're gentle. At least, in their own way. She looked down at him. Master Azurella told me Kalen was happy when she learned she would train you. Alex's expression changed. What? Alyra nodded. She was genuinely happy. Azurella even told me. She wanted the opportunity to train you herself. Alex slowly sat upright. His mind shook. Kaelin had been happy? Azurella wanted to train him? Then why? Why had Kaelin treated him like that? Why had she humiliated him? Why had she spoken about Seraphine and Naira that way? Alex searched for an answer. One possibility appeared, and unfortunately, it made perfect sense to him. I'm the problem. His senior sisters had expectations. Kaelin had expectations. Azurella had expectations. Orlin had expectations. Everyone had heard about him. Everyone expected Seraphine and Naira's student to be extraordinary. Then Kaelin finally saw him train, and Alex had destroyed every expectation she carried. His eyes slowly lowered. Alyra watched him carefully. She could see exactly where his thoughts were going. But she didn't stop him. Not yet. Because something felt wrong. Very wrong. Kaelin had been excited to train Alex. Then, after a single morning, she suddenly claimed to be ashamed of Seraphine and Naira. Alyra didn't believe it. And Orlin had allowed Alex to hear every word. That bothered her even more. Alyra continued gently running her fingers through Alex's hair. She said nothing. For tonight, she would simply remain beside him. But tomorrow, she would speak with Azurella. She would learn exactly what was happening between Alex and Kaelin. Because if someone was deliberately pushing Alex toward this state of mind, Alyra wanted to know why. Somewhere else within Greyfard Palace, Orlin quietly sat alone. A faint smile remained on her face. Kaelin stood before her. Neither woman spoke for several moments. Then Orlin finally asked, "Do you think he believed you?" Kaelin's expression remained unchanged. "Yes, Master." Orlin smiled. "Good." Kaelin hesitated, then asked, "Master, was that truly necessary?" Orlin slowly opened her silver eyes. "Seraphine asked us to break his arrogance. Naira asked us to teach him the true meaning of blood hunt." Orlin's smile disappeared. "And I intend to fulfill both requests." She looked toward the distant night sky. "Tomorrow." "Kaelin." "Yes, Master." "Don't let him touch you." Kaelin nodded. "Understood." Orlin closed her eyes once more. "Let's see how long it takes Alex to stop believing he's talented and start proving it." Far away, Alex remained unaware. He believed he had disappointed his masters. He believed he had embarrassed his senior sisters. He believed he had failed. But the truth was far simpler. His training had only just begun. So, you've just listened to Chapter 30, Part 4 of The Broken Realm. Alex's first day of training left him questioning everything he believed about himself. But sometimes, the greatest lessons begin with the harshest failures. Will Alex discover the true purpose behind Kaelin's relentless training? Can he master Blood Hunt? Or will the gap between talent and true mastery prove too great to overcome? Find out in Chapter 30, Part 5. If you enjoyed this chapter, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Echoes of Nova, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next chapter of Alex's journey. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next chapter.